let's get into much better things. Another classic JP and the Beans top 5. Today we are listing off our top 5, what we believe to be the best opening scenes in comic book movies. Mr. Beans, you go first. You're number 5, sir.
I feel like we haven't talked about this movie a lot on this podcast. Okay. I have Infinity War's intro where Thanos takes Thor's ship and absolutely wreaks havoc to the point the Hulk never shows up again.
Pretty good.
And it is the perfect tone setter for a villain of that caliber.
Yep.
Thanos coming in, and literally the funniest part is it comes right off of Thor 3. They all just got done watching their own planet. They're like, oh, we made it out.
We'll rebuild.
By the skin of our teeth. And then immediately after, Thanos is like, nah, you're all gonna die.
There's still too many of you. Let's take another half away, please. Thank you.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Loki, and kills Loki immediately. You're like, oh. So, and yeah, Hulk gets annihilated. Not even close. So that's my number 5.
Great tone setter.
Infinity War.
Yeah, great tone setter for the character. I absolutely love that. My number 5, kind of a fun one here, all right? The Lego Batman movie. The opening scene of this movie is a friggin' delight. If you want to talk about a tone setter, welcome to the Lego Batman movie. It's got the jokes, it's got the Joker, and it has the best Batman song ever. Thank you, Will Arnett. Thank you for whoever put that one together. The lyrics for that song are absolutely incredible and iconic. And it's got Lego Batman kicking the butts of all of the villains. It's fantastic. That's my number 5, the Lego Batman movie.
Still haven't seen it. I still haven't seen it.
You know what? What an opportunity this fall is for you. There's not a lot of good movies to go see. You can watch Gladiator. You can watch the Lego Batman movie from home. Okay, there's some gifts for you. All right. My number 4. I'm going to stick kind of in the Avengers theme. My number 4 is Endgame. All right. You dropped the Infinity War. Great opening scene. There is no doubt. Endgame, much more quiet of an opening scene relative to Infinity War, but no less powerful, in my opinion, where you see our dear sweet Hawkeye on the home front with his family, living with the ankle bracelet on, teaching his kids how to shoot, and all of a sudden, off screen, they disappear. The effect of the snap is seen and felt so sincerely in face of Clint Barton, in his voice as he's panicking, like wondering where on earth did my wife and kids just go? And it was such a phenomenal view of this is what the snap felt like, right, on the ground level. And we obviously saw at the end of Infinity War as far as how the heroes felt it, but it was such a powerful scene in the sense of this is what it felt like for everybody else, right? It's one thing to see, like we were used to seeing to a certain extent heroes and villains die, but your average ordinary person, which I understand Hawkeye is not, but that is what that scene did, is it said this is what it was like for everybody else. And it allowed the rest of that movie. It was such an effective tie-in from, remember what happened in Infinity War? And such an effective handoff to the start of and the rest of the first half in particular, Endgame, where the Avengers are just having to sit in their failure. It was really well done. So that's my number 4, Endgame.
My number 4, we've talked about this for character intros. It's X2. Nightcrawler, Attack on the White House. Especially from if you go in there as a comic book fan watching this, you're like, oh, why is Nightcrawler doing this? But it just sets the tone because for the whole movie. Because then they're like, oh, this is why we need to be scared of mutants. This is why mutants are bad. And so, yeah, it's just badass.
It's a great
That's
scene.
My number 2. Or not my number 4, sorry.
It aged so well.
Yeah. It's so holds up.
Since that movie came out, and it still looks fantastic.
It's the most badass Nightcrawler scene we've had, which is a shame.
Also, yes, kind of sad.
So
that's a great number 4.
That's number 4. Number 3, The Dark Knight. The Joker attacking the bank. You don't know which one the Joker is. In fact, you don't even know if the Joker's in there. You kind of think because, the trailers. But if you didn't see the trailers and you're like, oh, what's going on? And it's just the perfect execution of the Joker as a character and the chaos that he's just there for, because, you know, he pretty much just slowly, everybody's turning on each other.
Yep.
And of course, he's the winner because he just knows that that's what's going to happen. So
the master puppeteer.
Yes, the mask reveal when he takes it off and it's him, you're like, oh dang. This sets the tone for the entire movie.
Yeah.
So, Dark Knight is my number 3.
Great number 3. My number 3, also X-Men 2. Nightcrawler scene, as you stated so well, it's about as good as it gets. So I won't rehash, but it's phenomenal. So that's my number 3 is X2. My number 2 is Captain America: Winter Soldier. I remember very distinctly being in the theater watching that movie and having come off of Captain America: The First Avenger and then the Avengers movie. Listen, Cap wasn't a powerhouse at this point. He just wasn't. He, frankly, was the guy we were like, is he still alive? Like, he's kind of lucky to be here with Iron Man and Thor and Hulk. And then the start of this movie leveled him up so significantly, but not artificially. It did it organically. It's like, oh, here's what he is. Here's what he can be. An extraordinarily skilled fighter. Strong as all get out. Like, especially when it comes to, okay, Captain America versus Mortal Man. Yeah, Cap wins. And it's not close. He's just beating fools down, but he's doing so with necessary skill, silence, right? Covertly. It was such a banger of an opening scene. The ways in which he utilized his shield was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, there was better shield usage in terms of weapon in that opening scene than anything we saw in the entire Avengers movie. I love the Avengers movie, but this opening scene let Cap flex, and my guy didn't stop flexing from the start to the end of the movie. But just a brilliant tone setter, and in some ways resetting of the character. So absolutely love that. That's my number 2, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
My number 2 is Deadpool.
Ooh, good one.
That's my number 2.
Yeah.
With him just sitting on the bridge, drawing exactly what's going to happen, shoot his plane.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you just watch him just drop into the car, kill a bunch of people. And you have no idea why he's doing any of it at this time. Yeah. And he's just quipping left and right. Like, it's perfect. And you're just like, we've made it, boys. We're here.
And we've not just made it, we've made it right.
Yeah. It was so great.
That's great.
So that's my number 2.
I love it.
My number 1 is recent. Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's a great pull. It's a great pull.
The in-sync pull. And by the way, one of the most creative fight scenes ever, with Deadpool killing people with Wolverine's bones, is incredible. Incredibly creative. And it's just, like, I cannot give that enough credit. Mm-hmm. The fact that he puts on the Wolverine claws himself and uses them, insane usage. Okay, it's brilliant. Like, I can't.
It's a comedy because he goes into it like, I'm gonna bring Wolverine back. He's not dead. He's got the healing factor. You morons. Get to the bottom of the grave. Oh.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It is perfect. And then playing to In Sync. By the way, we talked about this before. I need to bring it back. Deadpool has figured out music. Mm-hmm. Okay? The way that they just incorporate every song, it fits so perfectly in every scene.
Right.
All 3 movies across.
Right.
All 3 movies.
Right. There is no doubt. There is no doubt.
They made Like a Prayer mainstream again. It still plays on videos. And that was July.
And that was the 80s also.
Correct.
Came out. So, hello.
They turned it into a Billboard chart, like top, like it hit the top of the charts again.
Incredible. Oh, it's absolutely incredible.
That is my number 1, Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's so awesome. Usually when we put these top 5 together, or top 5s together, you're the one that's going, oh, I forgot about that movie. I forgot about Deadpool and Wolverine when I was putting my list together.
Tough.
Right?
Sucks to be you.
Right? As we're going, before you said that was your number 1, I went, oh, yeah.
It's perfect.
I have no excuses. It is. It's a phenomenal opening scene. Should be on everybody's top 5, except for mine for some bit reason. My number 1 was your number 3, The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. It's, for all the reasons you stated, just a glorious opening scene, introduction of the character of the Joker. And it's just this perfect blend of the visuals are tremendous, the unknown of what's happening. Who are these people behind the masks? Who's the puppeteer here pulling the strings? And the music as it crescendos as the Joker pulls the mask off and says, Ranger. It's like, oh. And the fact that you have plenty of, if not all of the henchmen die, and then he sticks the grenade in the mouth of William Fichtner, who somehow gets a freaking cameo in this movie. But he doesn't kill him. It's just a smoke grenade. It's everything that's perfect about that character rolled up into one scene and just presented. And that's a movie that doesn't quit. Like, for 2.5 hours, you are on a ride. And that scene got it off to the start. So there you go. There's my number 1.